Bless everyone. Bliss, welcome to another weekly card reading, energy and card reading by me, Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, here on my YouTube channel under Rissa Vibes. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me make sure I get everything nice and squared away for you so you can see all my cards and setup here. And go ahead and get nice and comfortable, settled in, ready to go. If this is your first time joining me on a live reading, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you will enjoy this reading and come back next week for another one. We talk about astrology, numerology, we pull cards, and we also talk about the spirit messages that I've gathered from meditations and channelings that I've done this month and week in general, and then all get together in that energy and begin to feel into the energy to come for the next week so that we can navigate it fully and feel into our divine purpose in that awareness. So I like to do a little review of last week, so I'm going to start with that. Last week was 4/7 to 4/14. Today is 4/14, a beautiful Sunday. And 4/14 is a great day. Numerologically, it is a very strong day for angelic connection and communication. So it is a great day to tap into communication with your angels, allowing yourself to feel connected and able to speak to your angels, ask your angels for guidance and clarity in whatever you need, and allow yourself to open up to receiving that influence into your path from your angels and your angelic connection that you have already within you. So this is a great day for that. But let's do a little review of last week. Last week, the cards we had was Harmony in the beginning of the week. Then we had Serenity in the middle of the week. And then at the end of the week, the last card we pulled was the Knower. So let's talk about that energy a little bit and how we felt into it. A lot of us were feeling into our ability to stay at home and kind of get connected more with our home and family. We also had Jupiter go into retrograde last week. So we had more of that serenity for the middle of the week, focusing on that home environment and staying connected to family and getting cozy at home, handling just more of your home responsibilities and feeling more into that home lifestyle. So allowing yourself to maybe take a day off last week, or maybe you just felt that need to be more invested into your family and home life, and maybe you felt like it was just a time to take care of the home. Maybe you did some gardening or some tending to your home and different things that need to be fixed throughout the house, or maybe some spring cleaning. Whatever it is, we felt into a beautiful peace within the middle of the week from that retrograde of Jupiter. And knowing that Jupiter going into retrograde actually gives more of our feeling of abundance and allows us to feel okay and comforted in the expansion of Jupiter, and understanding that because Jupiter is so big, when it goes retrograde, it still has more of an influence on our life that is positive, and it's a positive planet. It has more of that expansive, joyful energy. And we're going to feel more of that expansion coming up in this week. So with that Harmony coming in with the Jupiter retrograde and that Serenity as well, feeling into the beginning of the last week, that Harmony, finding balance in ourselves, finding a little bit of self-reflection, finding ways to connect to our balance, and then moving into that Serenity the middle of the week. And then finally this weekend, the end of the last week, we're in it right now, the Knower card, really tapping into our ability to understand more about ourselves, to seek new knowledge and to gain it in a very strong and intense way, to absorb the new knowledge, not just to hear it and let it go out the other ear, but also to feel more into what it means for us and why we're given that knowledge. And also just allowing us to feel a little bit more confident in stepping into the unknown, because we still are doing that. We still have a lot of that unknown energy around, especially because April is the month of new beginnings. So moving into the Knower card doesn't necessarily mean for this weekend that we're knowing everything. It just means that we're starting to seek more knowledge, and we're starting to get more comfortable with knowing more in the unknown, and with allowing ourselves to learn new things and to experience what it feels like to start at square one and feel like we don't know anything. And we understand that that's part of life. Erykah Badu says it best when she says the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. That is so true. It's because when we actually step into our most divine knowing, when we realize we don't know anything, and when we realize we actually don't have all the answers. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So let's jump off from that Knower card for this last end of the week and start with that going into the energy for this week to come. So this week, the week that we're in now, that we'll do the reading on now, is from 4:14 today to 4:21. So we've been in these groups of 7, which is really cool because we started it off with the 1st, and then we had the 7th, and then we had the 14th. Now, and then next week we'll have the 21st. So we're feeling into these groups of 7 as well, which I feel numerologically is very much significant of that angelic connection as well, because we've been feeling that angelic realm become more activated to us starting in 4/4 at the beginning of the month. And so we really have been feeling that angelic portal open up this whole month. And I feel like because we've been having these weeks so in alignment with the multiples of 7, that 7 number is about the heavenly realm and that heavenly connection and that ability to open up to that divine connection with our angels. So allowing ourselves to tap into that really strongly this week and even last week and the weeks to come for the rest of April, because of the kind of tense energies and versatile energies that we're experiencing this month, specifically with the new beginnings. We're really stepping into the new beginnings, which means that there's a lot of kind of bumpiness in the road and a lot of that unknown aspect that we're still moving into, which can definitely be uncomfortable. So call on your angels, call on them today with the 4:14 day, that very strong 4 number coming through and resonating with the angelic connection. And then also allow yourself to continue tapping into that throughout with these numbers of 7 that we're in, with the week just lining up with those multiples of 7, because I think that's really significant. So that's from a numerological standpoint. But let's go into the spirit messages that I gathered for this reading this week. I've got a lot of messages to go over, so let's talk about it. I was guided to just write down some words that came to me in meditation this morning about this week. And the words that came to me was adapting. The first word was adapting, and we have been adapting. We've been adapting a lot in a lot of different ways, in our family life, in our home life, in our finances, in our work life, in our personal life, our self-reflection, adapting to change. And this really started last month, and even maybe a little bit before that, but I'll talk a little bit more about where that kind of really started last month in just a second when we get into astrology. But for now, let's focus on this sense of adapting. And we are feeling into our ability to adapt, and we're learning more about our ways in which we adapt, and if we do them in a healthy way or if we adapt in a less healthy way for our well-being. So this can be a really strong time for us to come into realization and awareness of how we're adapting, and if we're adapting in the smoothest and most graceful ways that we can, and where we can get better at that. So allow yourself to go within and find out where you could do better at adapting and where you are doing great. Remember to always praise yourself for the places you're strong. So there are a lot of us that are adapting really easily to things that are subtle, and even things that are big changes. We're adapting really easily. So allow yourself, if you're tapping into that ease of adapting, to give yourself that praise and to really continue that energy and maintain that in the best way you can. And if you're having a struggle adapting, allow yourself to reflect on where the struggle is happening, why and where it's coming from, so that you can target it specifically and eliminate it and redirect yourself into a more graceful adaptation to the changes that are occurring this entire month, and specifically moving into this week. Also, transmutation is another word that I wrote down that is kind of a carryover from last week, or a couple weeks ago even, when we were feeling into transmutation. It was 2 weeks ago. And so transmutation is another theme this week from a spirit messages perspective, from my intuition and the guides that I've been calling on for this information, all of my ancestors, my guides, your guides. And feeling into transmutation is huge. It allows us to feel into our ability to see what needs to change and what's not working, and allow ourselves to find the silver lining and the most positive ways in which we can adapt and change those things, transmuting them from something that is one form into another form that is more beneficial for our well-being. So that can be transmuting our heart space. Maybe we need to find ways to awaken our heart energy, rejuvenate our heart. Maybe we notice our heart's been dull lately. So finding our ways to transmute that dull energy into vibrance and life and new growth. Finding ways to figure out what your heart sings on. What makes your heart sing? What are the things that makes you happy from your heart perspective, and allowing yourself to become more deliberate in creating that environment. Other kinds of ways that we're transmuting things is just in our experience, in our environment, knowing that there's a lot of energy out there that's a little heavy and icky, and it's really kind of getting to this point where we're tiptoeing. Some of us light workers and spiritualists are tiptoeing in different environments that we know aren't really healthy, but that we feel obligated to be in. And so allowing ourselves to notice if we start tiptoeing and walking on eggshells around people or certain circumstances or places that we are subject to, and find ways to eliminate that tiptoeing behavior by no longer entertaining that environment, or allowing ourselves to find ways to let go of whatever it is internally that we're fueling, whatever mentality or emotional belief that we're fueling that is making that environment seem toxic to us. Because sometimes the environment isn't toxic, it's just ourselves convincing us of that because of what we've been through in the past, or what we've been going through lately, or what we're triggered by, and other things. So really pay attention to that and allow yourself to find ways to transmute any energy. This is also going to be a theme of letting go this week. We're still in this place of letting go. A lot of us have been stubborn. A lot of us have been feeling very or disconnected to our truth on things, feeling like we know what we really need to do, but afraid to do it, feeling a little bit apprehensive and nervous, and feeling completely out of answers in that way. The best thing to do when we're feeling that is to come into terms with what really makes us happy and allow ourselves to feel more connected to our truth. And when we feel more connected to our truth, everything else comes easier, and we're able to make those decisions that we need to let go and no longer be stubborn. But when we continue to see our truth in glimpses intuitively, maybe in dreams or just in little signs that we get throughout the day, but then we brush that under the rug and try to pretend like it's not really our full truth yet, or we're just trying to, maybe it'll go away, then we're not really being honest with ourselves. So find ways to be completely truthful with yourself, go within, find that integrity to not continue to lie to yourself or ignore things that you know are important to face and let go of, and take that strength and that fearlessness, harbor it, and use it to make some deliberate action and letting go and clearing away things that just are not serving you. Because this new beginning of April is no joke, and that's why this energy is a little bit tumultuous, because the universe is forcing our hand in the places that we haven't been honest with ourselves in, or that we haven't been able to face or brave enough to really tackle. And it is kind of a ripping off of the band-aid moment for some of us. And if you didn't do it last month with the beginning of the first Libra full moon last month on March 20th, then you're being called to do it this month. And these shifts are happening whether we like it or not. And even if we have been given the opportunity to let go ourselves, a lot of us this month are being forced to let go, because the universe is just not patient in that way when it knows that it's for our highest good to let go of things, and we're being stubborn because we're comfortable with what we have and we don't want to let go of something we're comfortable in, even though we know it's toxic. Then the universe is just like, you know what, I'll rip it out of your hands if I have to, so that you can move on and evolve the way you're supposed to for your path. So that might be what's happening to some of you. And so allow yourself to notice if that's happening, and to not resist that change and that shift and that letting go. Know that it's for a divine purpose, and know that it's most likely something that the universe tried to have you do before, let go of, and now, or needed you to let go of, or needed something to happen before, and now it's just it's being forced, it's happening, so that you no longer feel dependent on those things that you were so clung to, and you can now release and feel liberated into this new beginning that is evolving in front of you on your path. So be fearless into that unknown space, and transmute any energies around it that don't feel comfortable with that change, because any kind of change, any kind of adapting, any kind of transmutation is uncomfortable. It's not going to be sunshines and rainbows. Spiritual journey is not that. If you have somebody around you that's telling you that everything's going to be okay all the time, then yes, there's positivity in that. There's a way to see the silver lining. Everything is going to be okay. But there's no way that things can be always great. It would be imbalanced. And we are seeking a balanced life, not a 100% blissful life all the time. We want to have bliss in even our struggles. We want to be able to find acceptance and understanding and clarity, which leads us to bliss in our struggles. But it doesn't eliminate our struggles. It evolves our response to our struggles. That's what the spiritual journey is about. Evolving our response to struggle and evolving our response to success. And if we're always seeking a new great thing to happen, or a new accomplishment to happen, or a new abundance to come in, and not noticing that there's always going to be a time where it's time to also face some stuff, it's time to also do some inner work, it's time to also let some things go, then we're cheating ourselves in the entire spectrum of the journey. And we have to be honest and mature in that spiritual awareness to know that there's going to be balance, and there's going to be days and weeks that are harder. And if we can just rely on our strength within and our wisdom and our acceptance of that as learning and opportunity to evolve, then we do find bliss, and it does feel more bright and sunny. But it doesn't always have to be bouncing off the walls, head in the clouds, like everything is perfect. It's just not realistic. The world wasn't made to be that way. If it was, we would all still be connected to source, and we would just be a big energy in nothingness and not be evolved into all of this difference and variation of our form and being. So we need to enjoy the versatility. All right, another spirit message is that we're turning a corner, we're approaching a gateway, and we've been having this energy for a while, but we're feeling it even stronger because we're feeling kind of this momentum building of all these changes happening. Where is it going to lead? What's going to happen? How is it going to play out? Am I making the right decision? Am I hearing the guidance correctly? Am I taking that advice right? Am I feeling into myself the way I need to? Am I making the right choices? All of that energy is happening right now. We're all feeling a little uncertain. We're all feeling a little bit curious. We're all feeling a little bit a little bit, I guess, nervous, but it's not fearful. I don't feel like we're in fear anymore. I feel like a lot of us have evolved past the fear, but now it's just like a little bit of this giddiness, a nervousness, like stage fright kind of thing, like just knowing that we're going to step out there and do something different. We don't know exactly what it looks like or what to expect, but we know that we're trusting in what we do and what we know and what we love, and we're hoping that it works out. And so that's just kind of where we're at, and we're waiting for the go ahead. We're waiting for that curtain call to let that curtain drop and see what our new beginning looks like, but we don't see it yet. So allow yourself to be okay with that. Find peace, find serenity with that. Allow yourself to know that the corner, you are turning the corner, that the gateway is approaching, and just be excited for this energy. Feel into the excitement. Imagine when somebody has like the most excited experience, right? Maybe they have something happen to them that's unexpected. Maybe they win the lottery. Okay, let's just use that as an example. Somebody wins the lottery, and could you imagine if you won the lottery, and then after you win the lottery, after you get all your finances squared away, after you get like whatever you need and you start to feel comfortable and you're living this like new life after winning the lottery, right? When you're in that energy, don't you think that once you're in that energy of like living the life in the lotto, and once that starts kind of getting comfortable to you, that you'll kind of start to think back on the time when you didn't have the lottery, and you'll start to kind of want to remember a little bit about that excitement that you had, and just being excited that you had the ticket, and reading the numbers as the numbers were called on the radio, and allowing yourself to feel that excitement of seeing every number line up exactly how you wanted it, and feeling how you chose those numbers and how amazing and exhilarating that was, and how your life was about to change and you just didn't know how, but you could feel it, and you had this excited energy about you. Even when you've won the lottery, even when you've gotten comfortable in that new state of being that you're so eager to have, you'll still have this sense of nostalgia that wants to remember the time before and leading up to that lotto win. So don't cheat yourself by trying to push so far past and so quickly ahead of yourself to get to that lotto win that you don't soak in the present moment and the journey to it that you will enjoy and really want to have absorbed fully, so you can reflect on once that lotto is won. So that's really where we're wanting to do, is just feel into the present moment of turning the corner, and feeling into the present moment of that momentum building, feeling into the present moment of the excitement of the unknown, feeling into the present moment of the shifts that are occurring, and knowing that that nervous energy is going to turn into excitement and exhilaration and new beginnings and new awareness and new growth and new opportunities. That is the excitement of the lotto right there, if we can soak into it. And we don't want to lose it. We don't want to pass that by. We want to live that in the present moment. So don't get too caught up in the future. Don't get too caught up in the past. Just live here and know that there's going to be a moment where you wish you would have lived here a little bit more in the present, soaked up those moments. If anything, the last couple of weeks has taught me is that to soak in every moment you have with the people that you love, with the energy that inspires you, with the environments that inspire you, with the things that make your heart sing, because you'll always want to have those moments super absorbed and rememberable whenever you need to call on them for that sense of bliss and recollection. Okay, and then the next one, balance of mind functions. Thoughts, communications, ideas, inspiration, and maneuvering the uncomfortable. I talked about this a little bit, but we're feeling into the balance of the mind. We have a Libra full moon at the end of the week on Friday, the 19th. So we're feeling into the balance of the mind functions, because Libra is all about balance. And this Libra full moon is about balance of the mind and about balance of the interactions and the external environment as well. The mind is often representative of the ego and also of the external experience and our interpersonal relationships, our relationships that we have with others. So allowing ourselves to feel into that balance all this week. I know that that's going to be a big theme, and that we'll talk a little bit more about the full moon in just a second. I've been on a little bit of a ramble, so I want to move through these spirit messages a little quicker. Also, have patience and remember that we are on Source's time. So patience is going to be huge while we were waiting for that curtain call, while we're allowing ourselves to just enjoy the moment. So being patient by being present in the moment is huge. I also wrote down, when we find more knowledge, we often experience more clarity, which takes time for our mind to wrap around it. Processing for balance is necessary. And that's where we're at this week, is processing for balance. Last week we had harmony and serenity. We were allowing ourselves to settle down, get into the home environment, feel cozy and comfy and self-reflective. And then this week we're feeling into the processing of that balance, the mind aspect of it. You're probably going to find your mind racing a lot this week, or find yourself just drifting off into deep thought about yourself, or your life, or your experience. Allow yourself to not get too heavy in that. If you notice yourself feeling your energy depleting, or you're feeling hopeless, or feeling like it's going off into a negative tangent, don't carry that mind into that space, but allow yourself to be realistic and not go into the most negative outcomes. Also find ways to be realistic with yourself. If there's things that you don't like, that your mind is kind of forcing you to navigate and work through, allow yourself to process it in a healthy way. See yourself through Source's eyes. Know that everything is on Source's time, and look through it from that scope. Don't look through it from the ego scope. Allow the mind to be a useful tool in logic and balancing that, but don't let the ego part of the mind take over. Allow yourself to let it expose the ego. Let it expose the environment that doesn't suit you. Let it expose the relationships that aren't healthy. But don't let yourself become the toxic version of that by sinking into negative thoughts and negative tangents and hopelessness. So that's going to be a really big part of it, is processing with balance of the mind. And also letting yourself redirect your mind into more positive thinking. And if you're already feeling positive and your mind is racing on positive, exhilarating, inspired things, then you know that you've turned that corner and that you're ready to go fully into all of that energy and start deliberately acting on it. So let your mind then take you into the logic and the strategy and the structure of how to manifest the things that you want with that excitement and exhilaration. So whatever clarity you're having, you're finding more knowledge, and you're wrapping your mind around it in a necessary way. We're finding ourselves more stronger and more resilient as well this week. So allow yourself to pat yourself on the back when you feel that strength and resilience and notice it in yourself. Tower moments are strong this week and even last week. The tearing down of structures of our life by our own hand, things that we have seen in our life that we have built up around us, things that we have structured our life on that doesn't suit us anymore, but that we have created, are falling down so that we can create new things that now fit more of our standard and more of our vibration. So allow yourself to let go of the things that are huge, that are no longer serving you, that are feeling like they're crumbling already. Just let them crumble and know that it's going to be okay, and know that when they crumble and fall, you have all that capacity and opportunity and capability to build something new from it, whatever you want, because you built what you just had crumble. So you can build something completely different and more beneficial to what you want right now in this moment. So find ways to find balance as well with your mental processing on what you want and what you need so that your manifestation becomes more clear as well. And remember too that after tower moments, we end up looking to the stars. We're no longer naive. We're more enlightened. We're more wise after tower moments. We look to the stars for guidance, and then the stars, the moon, our intuition, and the sun, the deliberate action follows. So tower moments are a sign of new growth and new beginnings as well. So this April energy that we're feeling and the chaos of it, some of it is for a reason, and it is necessary for the new beginnings and for the stars and the sun and the moon to guide us into new light. So just know that that's on the way, and that's part of the turning the corner that's coming up. And that when you resist the tower moments, or you resist the crumbling of the tower, you're also resisting and delaying that sun, moon, and star guidance that is going to take you into the next step. So don't resist it, don't delay it, let it happen. And also just being self-reflective on this is the month of new beginnings, and how can you do what you want to do and have what you want to have right here and right now? Is there ways to bring what you want and what you need into the present moment, focusing on the present moment and bringing it in? I really enjoy meditating on what I want and imagining that symbol or that vision and imagining myself drawing it into this present moment, drawing it in, like having a fishing wire attached to it and just drawing it in. And I'll spend a whole meditation on just that. So allow yourself to do that if that resonates with you, because it is about finding ways to do what you want and have what you want right here and right now that will suit you, that is healthy, that is functional, that is in harmony with the universe. And the last thing I'll say about spirit messages before I go on to astrology and numerology, which isn't too long, throat chakra expression. Throat chakra expression has been big. I'm actually playing some solfeggio tones for throat chakra expression, because throat chakra is all about our truth, our integrity with ourselves, going within, being honest and genuine with what we need to do and what we want and what we desire, and then taking that and expressing it so that those things happen. So allowing ourselves to be more communicative and expressive and graceful in our communication of things we need to let go of or clear out of our life, or just move into more fluidly. So throat chakra connection is going to be huge. So play some solfeggio tones for your throat chakra if that resonates, and that will help you communicate more freely and also be more expressive of your truth to yourself and to others for those interpersonal relationships. All right, let's get into astrology and numerology, and then we'll go right into cards. There's not too much to talk about astrology and numerology wise, other than the first essence is tomorrow, Monday the 15th, Venus squares Jupiter. And this is a big deal because Jupiter is in retrograde, so we're feeling already that energy of focus on Jupiter, that expansiveness of Jupiter, the vastness, the bigness of Jupiter, and also feeling the abundance of Jupiter that comes with that. Jupiter also often reflects work and career. It often reflects just expansion in any way, a new level of growth. So that oftentimes will be reflective of work and career or other things in our life that are big in our life. So that can be part of the tower moments too. And so with Venus squaring Jupiter, we have more of that family, home and love focus from Venus even more on Jupiter. And so with that, we're feeling more into our relationships like we talked about. We're feeling more social, more loving, more giving, more expressive. We're also feeling into inner child play. We're feeling a little bit more curious and adventurous and wanting to move out into new places and experience new things and have new adventures happen. So let yourself feel that tomorrow with that Venus square Jupiter. And also know that with tomorrow being Monday and being a work day, that responsibilities and bigger kind of requirements and obligations may seem a little bit counterintuitive tomorrow because of that inner child play and that need to go be expansive and free. So know that the ways in which you can kind of combat that is just by finding ways to have fun in your work environment, finding ways to find freedom there, and also finding ways to find your social impact with what you're doing. Find ways to look at how your loving and giving comes through and how your social outgoing nature comes through with what you're doing and your responsibilities and obligations. And let that be part of your expression of that inner child and that play by tapping into that social energy and that expansive energy of Jupiter. Okay, so that's gonna be tomorrow, and we're also feeling a lot of strengths and shifts starting tomorrow. So if we haven't been feeling shifts already, we're going to feel them even more tomorrow, but it's going to give us more strength, and we're gonna see more clearly what these shifts are doing for us and what they mean for our movement forward. So we're gonna get a little bit more deliberate action and inspired action from the shifts that we have tomorrow. So just notice that and find ways to find strengths in it, okay? So that's for tomorrow, the astrology influence. Now, from the astrology, numerology influence of the biggest influence of this week is the Libra full moon on the 19th, on Friday. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but not a ton, because I'm going to do a live full moon reading, and I'm actually going to do it here on YouTube. I'm going to do it here on YouTube this week, and I'm going to do it during the day. I'm going to do it at 12 p.m. Well, let's see. I'll do it at 2 p.m. Central Time, okay? I'll do it at 2 p.m. Central Time this Friday, the full moon in Libra, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do on here on YouTube. So that's gonna be really fun. And I'm doing it early because I know a lot of you requested it to do earlier moon readings, which I totally understand and I'm absolutely available for. The only reason why I didn't do it is because I wonder about people's work schedule and if they can tune in live on Fridays during the day. But I think 2 p.m. should be fine. And if it's not, then we'll work together on it. You guys let me know a better time when we try it out Friday. If a better time comes up for you guys and we have a kind of community where everybody's agreeing, then I'll change it. That's what I'm here for, is to work with you guys on what you need. So you just let me know, but I'll do it 12 p.m. on Friday, or 2 p.m. on Friday, I'm sorry, 2 p.m. Central Time on Friday here on YouTube for the live full moon reading in Libra. But let's talk a little bit about the characteristics of it now so that we can get a little bit ready for it and ahead of that energy. So the Libra full moon, this is going to be the second full moon in Libra of the year. This is super rare. The first full moon in Libra was March 20th, last month. And so we were feeling into the new beginnings last month with the spring equinox and that full moon, if you remember. So this is really interesting because we're having kind of a mirroring effect with this full moon coming up and the full moon last month, almost exactly a month ago. It'll be it's April 19th for this full moon and March 20th for last full moon. So almost exactly a month. And this is a really big deal because last full moon we were feeling into new beginnings, that spring equinox, but we were going within. We were feeling more balance and that divine reset at 0 and feeling more of that energy and embodying the divine reset. And now with this April 19th full moon in Libra, we're feeling into more of a divine reset with our environment and our experience, our external. So we really started that divine reset last month, and it's taken about a month to manifest into our external. So we've started that work already, and now we're moving into and really seeing it evolve. So know that we've created the resets that we're having. We've created the new beginnings that we're having this month. And this full moon in Libra is going to help us balance into these new beginnings and really feel into the closure of that month of transition. And so We're going to be feeling more balance in interactions with others, communications, thoughts, relationships, balance in our wants and needs, returning back to our 0 point from our experience and environment perspective. And we're also having a lot of learning and reflection from our environment and perspective. So we're learning new things about ourselves and others from seeing it outside of ourselves. We also have a sun in Aries and the moon in Libra with this month. So we're feeling into that fiery sun energy still from Aries, feeling into more of that deliberate action and that fiery inspiration to stand up and do something about what we see and what we're learning and what we're feeling, and also to stand our ground in areas where we know we are being truthful to ourselves and having more of that stubborn energy. So call onto that when you need it, when you need that fiery energy to move forward and to let go, or when you need that fiery energy to stand strong in your conviction, do that. And also use that moon in Libra, that energy of intuition, the airiness of Libra, the loyalty of Libra, the balance of Libra, to let yourself and your emotions become more balanced and more accustomed and adapted to the environment that you're in and that you found yourself in, and all of the new beginnings that are happening. Now, the last thing I'll say with the astrology influence is that we're also feeling, we also will have a sun conjunct Uranus on the full moon day. And what that means is, first of all, we know that Uranus just moved into Taurus and will be there for a while, for the next several years. And so Uranus just took a transformation into Taurus and feeling more of that earth energy and that grounded energy and more of that pragmatic energy as well, and that higher mind. So with that, we're feeling the sun connecting to that and illuminating more of that energy, illuminating more of the Uranus connection, and feeling more of our intuition, our higher mind, meeting our ability to feel deliberate and progressive and grounded. And so with that, we feel liberation. We feel manifestation. We feel intense ability to bring forth what we want. And that is so exciting for us during this change, to know that we have a lot of that energy building with this end of the full moon in Libra on the 19th, ending that first full moon in Libra on the 20th, and that transformation that we've been experiencing over the last month. And it's getting intense towards the end. So we know that we're probably going to be towards the very end of it soon, and that we're going to really move into that curtain call of the new beginning very, very soon. So we're also going to find some ways in shifting our income and how we generate income as well, with some of that Taurus energy from Uranus and the sun conjunct. So that's really what we're getting for astrology. I'll talk more about the full moon on the 19th at 2 p.m. Central Time live here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and also tap the notification bell so that you know exactly when I go live and you don't miss it. So you get a nice notification there. And make sure to tell some friends about it so you can watch it together. And we'll do a early full moon. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some cards. Let's take a nice 3-breath meditation, and we'll pull some cards for this week. I've got 3 decks available right now, so we've got 1 deck for each part of the week. Let's close our eyes as a collective, join together in this community, web of light community we've created here on this channel, and let's breathe nice and deeply in. Big exhale to relax any tension, release any tension out of the body. Deep inhale, full of love and gratitude for our spirit guides who are guiding us here in this way. With a big exhale to relax into our guidance. Another deep inhale, biggest one yet, opening up to all our spirit guides' messages as a collective and individually here together. With a big exhale, sending our energy into the cards, connecting together as one as we open our eyes and begin to pull cards. So I'm going to shuffle these a little bit because I was just using them a little bit ago for my own stuff. And so these are the Healing with the Angels deck. I'm going to use these for the first part of the week. So we'll see what the first part of the week has to offer, the beginning of the week for 4/14 to 4/21. This is the card I'm getting for that. All right, middle of the week, Angels of Atlantis card. see what the middle of the week has to offer. Feel free to put your energy into the cards as well if you have a specific request. It will all answer. The card will always answer everyone that asks. And the middle of the week card for the collective is, I'm seeing it, but it keeps switching because it's finding the right card for all of you. There it is. Okay, middle of the week card. There it is. And the last card of the week, we're going in with the Voyager deck, our New Age Tarot deck. And by the way, I've been learning more about tarot, and so I'll be doing more tarot readings here and there as well, or just introducing more tarot decks to our readings. There's our end of the week card, which is really exciting because I just didn't do a lot of tarot just because I just didn't have the time or energy to invest into learning more about it. It just wasn't calling me at the time. But lately it's been calling me a little bit more, and I've been learning about it, and I've been deconstructing some of my own kind of biases against tarot. I've noticed that I had some biases against tarot given like more the complexity and the heaviness of tarot. I felt like it was just a little bit more outdated, but I'm realizing that there's actually a really strong story behind the tarot that is actually pretty beautiful and full of light, and it doesn't have to be tarot doesn't have to be scary or heavy or dark. And so I obviously don't work with that energy, so I didn't want to tap into it. But now that I'm learning more about the lightness of tarot and the light side of tarot, and knowing that there are decks out there that are very infused with light energy that are also still traditional in tarot, I'm going to introduce more of those kinds of decks into these readings, because tarot does have a really nice way of being very specific about things and helping us with a little bit more of the struggling or the more difficult weeks or difficult days or difficult situations. And so that's why tarot tends to be a little bit more complex, but it's for a reason. So yeah, that's just a little spiel. I'll be doing more of that. All right, let's see what the weekly cards say. The first card of the week, this is from the Healing with the Angels deck. First card of the week, truth and integrity. Truth and integrity. And that makes so much sense because we did talk about going within and really accepting our truth, being honest with ourselves and honest with others this week, knowing that our relationships, our environments, our circumstances are showing us something, and they're showing us what to hold on to and what to let go of. So notice if there's things that you need to let go of that you're not being honest with yourself about, that you know deep down is important. Make sure you're being truthful with yourself and integritous with yourself, that you're being genuine, and that you do the right thing by being honest with others that are involved and yourself, so that you can move into the new beginnings that are awaiting you and allow yourself to feel the expansion of the energy that comes with being truthful with yourself and others. So that's a big one. Truth and integrity for the beginning of the week. Allowing yourself to do that tomorrow, especially. All right, middle of the week with the Angels of Atlantis cards. I love these cards. Middle of the week, Archangel Haniel comes through with hope. With hope, letting us know not to get hopeless. Don't get down on yourself. Don't get defeated. Don't feel suppressed or hopeless. Allow yourself to have hope. Know that with hope, all can happen. With faith, with the ability to see and to believe and to trust in the universe that everything is going to be okay, that hope will carry it into fruition. And that we're also feeling the root chakra. The purification of the root chakra is what I'm getting with these two images here. Root chakra is all about stability and support. It's the base of our spine, the bottom, the first chakra, the bottom chakra. And it's all about our survival, our individuality, our ability to stand on our own 2 feet. Some of that tower stuff comes up with this card as well. Knowing that we may have some tower moments where the structures and the support of our environment or our circumstance might start to crumble, or we might need to let that go. But when we have hope and understanding that it's all for a divine purpose, and that it's purifying ourselves by letting things go that are a part of our root that no longer serve us, that we're purifying that and evolving into new heights, that we're flying above and transmuting any of that old energy and flying into new, pure, divine beginnings. So have hope and know that it's all for a purpose, and that by making those deliberate choices to let go of things that you know you need to, that you're doing your part and you're trusting the way that you need to, and that hope will carry you the rest of the way. All right, that's the middle of the week. Now the last card for the week, this is the New Age Tarot deck, the Voyager deck. For the end of the week, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. Now, a lot of people can assume that this is a negative card, but it's actually not. The Hanged Man is all about changing your perspectives, flipping your entire world and your entire being upside down. You're literally, everything is changing. Everything is becoming new. Everything is turned on its head. You're seeing things in a new way. You're reacting in a new way. You're experiencing things in a new way. You are changing everything around you. This is all about that adapting energy, moving into new, changed shifts of energy. And it comes with this full moon in Libra at the end of the week, that night, the 19th, 4/19, the Hanged Man comes up for the end of the week. So just know that we are choosing, the Hanged Man chooses to flip everything upside down and to change its perspectives and to evolve into a new state of being by learning new things and gaining new wisdom and knowing that it knows nothing at all, that everything it's learned so far and thus far is actually a little tiny speck compared to what is available to know. And so that's what the Hangman represents, is that there's so much more to learn, and that it represents the surrender into the unknown and the surrender into new beginnings and new perspectives and into a completely new way of life, because it knows that it's time to let go of the past and move into something completely new. So that's what we're feeling with the Hanged Man. Look at the images there. It's kind of a collage of energy, lots of energy here. A lot of vortexes, a lot of kind of black holes. Black holes represent kind of that unknown, stepping into complete nothingness. It also represents the void space, being able to create from that nothingness once you reach it, knowing that you can manifest with your divine intention and your ability to set into more of that wisdom and deliberate action. Looking into pools of water, just allowing yourself to see new things, see yourself in a new way. That's the Hanged Man. All right, so a quick review. Truth and integrity for the beginning of the week. Hope in the middle of the week to carry us through whatever we need to be honest and integritous on. And then knowing that when we're honest and integritous and we have hope to carry us through and purify into new forms, that we are able to surrender into. We're able to surrender into complete new beginnings, new perspectives, new awareness, new growth. All right, so that is the 3 cards for the week. That is the astrology, numerology, spirit messages, and cards that we did. And take a couple breaths to soak in that energy. Take a couple minutes to meditate on this reading. Don't just go right into your life and not soak it in. Let yourself absorb these messages. Let yourself integrate them and anchor them down. And when you do so, you'll be able to navigate this week even more fluidly. It will be a little bit of a hectic week in some parts. It will be a little bit of a call to action week, but we are going to be strong in our angelic connection, strong in our heavenly connection, strong in our connection within, and able to feel into our hope and assurance that new beginnings and a gateway of new promise is on the way, and we are stepping into our purest positive potential by doing so. On Friday the 19th, I'll be doing that live reading right here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you know when I go live. I'll be going live at 2 p.m. Central Time for that live reading in full moon Libra, so that we can get even more from that energy and understand even more about it. And then I'm also doing a channel and chill event in Arizona at Abundance Space this Friday at 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Channeling divine messages from spirit, all about this full moon and anything else that comes up for those who show up. So if you're in Arizona, you know somebody who is, send them my way at Abundance Space in Scottsdale and have them email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, if you need some more information, or you can just show up at Abundance Space in Scottsdale at 6:30 p.m. on the 19th and I'll be there. All right. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you need some more clarity on your life and what you're going through, your relationships, your love, your work, your family, your spiritual growth, whatever it is, let me know. readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. I'm happy to do a personal reading for you, a private one-on-one with you. We can do an energy clearing or a mediumship, or even a past life reading as well. Or we can just keep it general with what's going on in your world. So let me know if you need some extra guidance, if you need some more of that help connecting to your angels and to your angelic realm, to your higher self, or just needing help sifting and navigating or feeling better about the changes that you're undergoing right now and how to adapt more easily on your own. I'm happy to help you with that. So definitely email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, for any private personal readings and energy sessions. And also follow me on Instagram @readingsbyrissa. Make sure you follow me there because I do daily videos to motivate and inspire you to navigate the energy throughout the week accordingly. So I'm happy to be of service in every way possible. Just join the tribe by connecting with me on all the social medias, and I will be here for you in any way I can. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bliss to you, love to you, all